Okay, like I said in my last video, I'm not gonna be lifting for a while because I've been I lift a lot, as you can see in my videos. I'm consistent. I do what I gotta do, and my diet's even not as bad as it used to be. But I'm not losing the weight I wish I could. So, with that in mind, I'm gonna start doing heavy cardio for like a month or two, and then after I'll go back to being lifting and all the funny clips and shit. But for now, I'm gonna just lift. The plan is to voice over my cardio because no one likes to watch that, and that's pretty much it. And I'll be teaching and whatever, just tutorials and shit. But that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go hop on Stairmaster for 25 minutes or less, and yeah.
Alright, so basically, I'm home now. It's 7:45 p.m. Recording, or, just voicing over January 13th, 25. Pretty nice. I'm extremely tired, so, I'm gonna just talk for a bit. In the video, I'm doing Stairmaster for 25 minutes around, so I kind of just stopped. And then I shortened the video a bit because, 25 minutes of just me, walking up some stairs does not seem like it'd be pretty interesting. But, So, I'm going to be doing cardio for a while. I hate it. I don't like cardio. I was just, not my thing. What could I talk about? Favorite show would be Cyberpunk Edgerunners and just Cyberpunk in general. I like Ducks. Rocks are pretty cool. I play Marvel Rivals. I think I've posted it before. I'm a Venom main, so I was gonna say I lift. I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you could tell. I'm running out of ideas. Favorite color is gold. Shoe size I think is I'm not sure, to be honest. I got shoes though, so that's it. That's a good thing. Dog or cats? I prefer dogs because they're just cooler. God, I keep running out of ideas. I used to stream on Twitch a while back. I mean, there's no need to plug it because I don't do it anymore. But, back then I used to do that before I became, recording gym videos. I like the cold. The moon's pretty cool. I hate tripping up the stairs. That shit irritates me. Alright, to be honest with you, I took a second break. And now I'm back. I was running out of ideas to talk about, so I'm gonna, I don't know if it'll be a problem, but what the fuck? I'm gonna find a random Reddit story and read it because I don't know what to, really speak about. So let's see. I could do ours. Jesus. This is horrible stuff on here. What am I looking for? I could do revenge stories. Revenge stories, And I could post it on my TikTok as well. We're still looking. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, here, I found one. Alright, I got it. I got a story by this guy called Scarcity Tight 9515. My boss played favorites, but soon realized he was nobody's favorite. That's the title. I work in a fairly small tech company, and a few months ago, my boss decided to schedule one-on-one meetings with everyone on the team. These meetings were supposed were supposed to be about how we felt about the company, our roles, and where we saw ourselves in the future. When it was my turn, he asked me about my future plans, and I mentioned that I wanted to eventually take on client-facing responsibilities. To prepare for that, I asked if I could shadow some of the client meetings he attended with the higher-ups. I figured it would help me would help me get a feel for how those meetings work so I can handle clients on my own someday. He seemed supportive and agreed to do it. See, it's a long ass story. Here, let me find a shorter one. Short stories. Apologies. I know I was already on that story, but that's not really gay short stories. Yeah, no. Short stories. Yeah, that does not look short whatsoever. There we go. A moment of clarity. Content warning, not expect. Oh. Anyways, we'll skip those parts. I won't say them. It was 12 hours from Noah met God. He felt the stagnant Sunday air drenched with the scent of sweat and sex. And okay. We're already done. That's not going on the YouTube video. Jesus, can I get like a good, like, nothing horrible? Short stories, revenge stories. Revenge stories are always the best, but I just can't read well. Short revenge stories. Petty revenge. Let's see this one. Alright, this one's perfect. Coworker kept stealing my lunch, so I spiced things up. Literally. We've all been there. Coworker who can't resist borrowing, quotation marks, your food from the communal fridge. My favorite lunch kept disappearing, and after weeks of frustration, I decided to teach him a lesson. One day, I packed my usual sandwiches, added a secret ingredient, a generous layer of ghost pepper sauce, the kind that makes your soul leave your body. He was trying to kill the man. Sure enough, the lunch thief struck again, and about an hour later, I heard coughing, sneezing, and desperate gulps of water from across the office. When they sheepishly admitted, I think there's something wrong with the food here, I just smiled and said maybe you shouldn't take things that aren't yours. They never touched my lunch again. That was beautiful. I love that with every part of my body. Let's find another one. It says shutting them down. In my 20s, I managed for a popular pizza delivery chain. I was very good at it, setting company records for profitability. The location was busy enough that it attracted another well-known pizza chain to open a location in my strip mall, about 5 or 6 spots away. I was royally pissed at the audacity. I started blanketing the parking lot daily with coupons, and I hired a teenager to hang out in the parking lot during dinner hours and put coupons for a free pizza specifically on every car where they say the occupants walk into the other restaurant. The location lasted about 9 months before shutting down. Don't miss with my livelihood. He was really about that. Here, let's see. Oh, this one's long, but this one looks interesting. I didn't do anything to your car. Title. Years ago, I took my wife to a fabric store and waited outside in my car. This lady pulls up to me, throws open her door, and hits my car. She didn't look at me, so I got out of my car. Excuse me, you just hit my car with your door, she says. No, I didn't. He says, I was sitting in the car and I heard and felt you hit my car. She said, no, I didn't. I realized she wasn't going to admit it, and there was only a small mark on the door. So I watched her go inside the store, and it's an older car and had some other dings. I just wanted her to say sorry. Canadian here. We say it all the time. It's not hard to do. My wife was still inside the store when the lady came out, absolutely glaring at me. I rolled down the window and said, I didn't do anything to your car. She screamed, "What?" I said, "I didn't do anything to your car," he said. She spent the next 20 minutes looking over her vehicle, pausing to glare at me. I egged her on every 5 or so minutes by repeating, "I didn't do anything to your car. It's fine. Nothing at all." She finally peeled out. She finally peeled out of the spot in a huff, and my wife came out, wondering why I was in such a good mood after I spent an hour and a half in the car. I told her I found something to pass the time. I love that. Revenge is so amazing. Um. Ooh. Whoa, this one looks interesting. I discovered ex-boyfriend was cheating, so I exposed him. So 15 years ago, fresh out of university, I started working at a local bank. It was here that I started dating B, 28M. I was 22, female at the time. The thing was, back then I was still in a religious bubble and there was no sex before marriage type of person, and this man used to constantly beg me for sex anyway. Then he got moody when I said no. The constant begging became too much. For one certain Friday, I told him to get a girl he could actually have sex with and to stop bothering me. See, that's the problem. This is just my opinion. I feel like religion's nice, but you gotta really look into the person before you go into a relationship. Because, some people just thrive off of, what would be the nice way to say sex? Intercourse? Anyways, continue saying, he said, I told him to get a girl that he could actually have sex with. Would stop bothering me. And his response was, "Fine, but you're probably a B anyways." The thing is, I knew B's plan for the particular weekend, so I wanted to do a very petty thing, knowing he would have no internet access. So I logged into his Facebook with the internet to write a silly status update. But before that, I went to his messages and realized that not only did he have 7 girlfriends, but also he would brag about his sexual activities to his best friend. I took screenshots of conversations and he had each girl, including me. Then he pasted them on his wall as well as the conversations he had with his friends. I also logged into his G-Talk, it was a thing back then, and did the same screenshot and paste on his Facebook wall. Then I changed the Facebook and email passwords and just sat back and waited. Monday came and I just watched as these girls would go into his office and they'd come out looking angry, while I just sat there in my cubicle giggling. I even did the same, so I wouldn't seem suspicious. But the time I got there, B looked like so stressed his best friend didn't even come for the usual lunchtime visit. Funny thing is, I decided to be petty because he called me a B word, which would have never happened if he never called me that name. That's by Noisy Introvert 123. Beautiful. Ooh. Let's see here. Neighbor asked for it. By Ordinary Banana 6752. These names are amazing. I love it. Neighbor asked for it. At my last residence, my next door neighbors were on OLS couple. The husband was on a ordinary old F word. He had a... See, okay, I liked it, but too many big words for me. This one's long, but it looks fun. Still for me, drink some pee. Rhymed. Made up name 230. Okay, first of all, this happened a long ass time ago when I was a little kid, so hopefully outside of any legal repercussions. And I'm not saying I'm proud of this, but I was a kid. And okay, I was pretty proud at the time. The scene. Summer camp in the mid-1980s and Transformers were all at the rage. I got one of the dinosaur ones for my B-day and I was so excited. After a few days, I took it to camp with me. At lunch, that day, a kid in my group asked if we could trade toys overnight. I don't even remember what he had, but he really laid on the pressure and I agreed. All night was stressed and the next day ran up to him first thing to trade back his toy back and then told me to forget mine. He would return it tomorrow and again the next day and the next. This continues a few days later and it's the last day and he still says he forgot. I was distraught at pickup. I worried. Jesus, hold on. Let me lock in. At pickup, I worked up all my courage and ran up to his mom and told her. He said I was lying and she just blew me off. She blew me off and walked away. I was devastated and realized I had been had. I don't even know how that... I don't know if that's even, like a sentence or a word. I had been had. Okay. I don't forget things easily. All year I stewed in my anger. Revenge must be found. And so I imagine my joy when the next year of summer camp rolled around and he was back. The little fuckhead pretended he didn't even remember me or the theft, of course. So I knew what I had to do. A few days later, everything aligned. We would swim right before lunch so we could change in the locker rooms and left our lunch boxes in there while we swam. About 30 minutes into swim time, I told the counselor I desperately needed to use the bathroom, which was back in the locker room. Annoyed, they sent me up there alone. Perfect. I found this little asshole's lunchbox, unscrewed the top of his juice thermo, poured a bit out, and then topped it off with my pee. Then gleefully returned to swimming. About 45 minutes later... About 45 minutes later, I did my absolute best not to giggle or make a scene as I watched him knock back his juice and make a very surprised looking face. It's clear something didn't taste right. Later that day, he went to the nurse because he felt sick. I panicked that maybe I'd killed him, but he returned later in the day and I knew I got away with it. Take that, you fucking douche. You're going to try to mess with me. You're going to drink my pee. I rate that a solid like 10 out of 10. That was amazing. I think we got like maybe 1 or 2 more stories. I might just do this for my videos because I prefer story time isn't that bad. And then some videos I can have where it's training. Some other videos it could just be story times. Just while I post because it's interesting. Lini Dulce. Deluce. Lina Delucele. Luna Delacale. Alright, anyways. Office pregnancy plot twist. What a name. Here are my stories. So I work from home because I'm 36 weeks pregnant, and my boss has been super understanding, letting me set my own hours. However, some of my coworkers, mostly the ones who don't work from home, have been constantly asking me when I'm going on a maternity leave and making comments like, "Oh, you must be so close to popping," every day. It started getting on my nerves because they didn't seem to realize I still had work to do, and it wasn't just about baby time for me. So I decided to play a little prank. I started deliberately over-exaggerating my symptoms in emails, feeling like my feet are about to explode from swelling, can barely sit at my desk, but powering through, lol. Or I just had to get up and walk around because the baby's kicking so much. Almost fell out of my chair. And guess what? The next day I got an email from one of my coworkers saying, "You should really take it easy, you're making us all worried." So I replied, "Thanks, actually I'm due tomorrow, but they say it could take a while." And then crickets. No more questions, no more comments about how pregnant I was. My petty revenge worked perfectly. I thought that one would be better, but Be a dick to me. Oh, this one looks interesting. It's by Shaky Cam 3. Be a dick to me, I will win your favorite contest. So this was many years ago at a horrible call center job. The management was complete garbage, and at this place, especially one dude, he was my boss's boss. Every year, his greatest achievement was winning the chili cook-off. People hyped up his chili all year. It was always a landslide to the point where hardly anybody ever bothered to enter. He had a slow cooking process, used actual marinated steak, and one of his secret ingredients was a dark beer, blah, blah, blah. The prize was even a $100 gift card to his favorite fancy-ass restaurant. Just before the contest, he took me to a team beside him and he took my team aside and gave us shit about our numbers from previous month, without even accounting for the fact that one of our senior team members was out for most of the month because of death in the family. Was to make the rest of us to feel like shit, to motivate us to work hard. Asshole. Typical toxic middle management shit, and it was par for the course with this asshole. Cue petty revenge. The day of the chili cook-off, I brought a big crock pot from home and went off to a nearby popular fast food chain. You could probably guess the one. On my 15-minute break, I ordered three large chilies and threw them in a crock pot. The only way I changed it was by adding the green onions and sour cream they gave you at the time as a garnish and mixing it up. I'm sorry I can't speak properly. I brought it to the office to set it up. I won by a landslide. Within a few months, I got a better paying job and moved on. I told him how I won my way out of the garbage job for good. The look on his face was absolutely priceless, and I treasure it to this day. So he just cheated. Not cheated, but he just took his shit and just ran off with it. Props. Alright, well, I think that's enough story time. So tomorrow's going to be the same thing. I'm probably just going to read stories. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm probably just gonna read stories. Thank you for watching, and see you tomorrow.